One sec, please, while I just get sorted out. I sort myself out on Instagram. Looks good. I'm streaming in a few different places. Meditation's coming. Just got to check that it's all coming through on Facebook okay. Looks good. One sec now. Nearly there. Brilliant. Okay, good. All set. How are you? How's it going? I hope it's going well. It's all right if it's not, but I hope it is. Right, time for a bit of meditation. This isn't a class. It's just a chance to meditate together. It's part of the further emergence work that I do. I'll explain more about that when we're finished the meditation. If you're used to meditating, that's brilliant. If you could just hang on for a minute while I explain what I do, just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation. Because meditation is one of those funny things that people are almost embarrassed that they don't know how to do it, because it's so part of the culture. It's everywhere, you can read about it, you can watch videos about it, and I'm just basing that on people kind of sending me messages and quietly kind of going to me, what do you actually do? I'm not really sure. Like, they're embarrassed. So there's lots of different styles of meditation. This is just what I do. For me, it starts with why I would meditate. I'm trying to connect to a part of me that I connect to every night when I'm asleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming, so I go along and I'm dreaming, and then I drop out the bottom of dreaming. It just stops. And I'm into this deep, dreamless sleep where I've no memory of being there. I've no thoughts when I'm there. I've got no body, no country, no stories, I haven't even got me. I kind of cease to exist, certainly in the way that I normally register my existence, which, when you put it like that, when I put it like that, it sounds awful. Like, that sounds terrible. That sounds like death. The weird thing is, I love going to sleep. When I wake up in the morning, I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that that is a good place to go to. And that's the place I want to connect to when I meditate. I just want to do it consciously. So if you're new to meditation, straight away, don't lie down when you're doing this. Because if you lie down, if you're new to meditation, if you lie down and close your eyes, your body is just going to go, it's time for sleep. So you'll either fall asleep or you'll battle sleep, both of which are just very counter. I'm not going the direction you want to go. So sit up. You can sit in a lotus position if you're very comfortable doing that. That's great. Or you can just sit in a chair. I'm just sitting in a chair. If you do sit in a chair, make sure it's not too comfortable. Make sure it's not a chair that's going to, you're going to be into the falling asleep thing again. So yeah, a reasonably uncomfortable chair. Now, as I said, there's no thoughts there. So my mind can't get to this place. So I have to figure out a way to work it out with my mind, to kind of get beyond my mind or part the curtains of my mind to get into this place. So I just make an arrangement with my mind. I just say, hey, could you just stop thinking for the next 15 minutes while we meditate? Now, at this stage, my mind is pretty on board with the whole thing. It wasn't always. There used to be a bit of resistance. And if you find you're getting a bit of resistance for meditation, like if you want to do it regularly and you find your mind is like, oh, I don't want to do that, then give your mind the sort of things your mind likes. Read some stuff about it, get some information, give it, your mind likes to think about things, so it likes to have thoughts, concepts, ideas. So give it stuff like that. Like, my mind loves the idea of meditation, loves the idea of me being a meditator. It's read about it, it's got thoughts about it, it's got concepts about it, so it's okay with it. So yeah, if you are getting a bit of resistance, give your mind some stuff for it. So my mind's on board, that's good. Then the next thing is to stop thinking. Now, stopping thinking is easy enough. It's easy to stop. It's a bit harder to kind of maintain the stop, but it's easy enough to stop. So regardless of the content of my thoughts, what I'm thinking about, the structure is always the same. It's always pictures and sound, like a TV. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, which is easy to do, that's it, I'm not thinking. And as soon as I do that, I'm into the practice of meditation. And the practice of meditation runs parallel with the intention of meditation. So my intention is, as I mentioned, to go to this deep, mysterious, still, calm, peaceful. I'm trying to think of all the words that I use to describe meditation. Zen-like, you know, all that sort of stuff. That's my intention, to go to this place. The practice of meditation starts when I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. I stop thinking. Then a little bit of time will pass and I'll discover that I'm thinking again. I go, oh, I'm thinking again. So I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. And then a little bit of time will pass and I'll discover I'm thinking again. So I go, oh, I'm thinking again. So I turn off the picture and I turn off the sound. I stop thinking again. Then some more time will pass. I'll discover I'm thinking again. I go, oh, I'm thinking again. And I turn off the pictures and I turn off this, and so on. That's it. That's the practice of meditation. Every time I discover that I'm thinking, I bring myself back to not thinking. Simple. And I'm alerting into that because it's quite easy when you read about meditation, when your mind reads about meditation, to get the idea that, you know, when you meditate, if your mind was like a lake, there shouldn't be a ripple of thought, which isn't the case. It's more like a dance between the intention and the practice. So sometimes I'll be very deep and still, and other times I'll discover I'm thinking. And both are powerful. It's powerful when you are in that very deep, still place. But then, whenever you discover that you're thinking, a powerful but subtle thing happens. Because if you're like me, the sort of things you'll be thinking about are to do with you. Like, I think about things that are to do with me, personal. Why did that person say that thing to me? What am I going to do about that bill that I have to pay, or whatever, right? So I'm really involved in that thought. Then I go, oh, I'm meditating, right? So turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. I make that thought disappear. What I'm indirectly communicating to myself when I do that is, I'm saying, hey, you know that thought you just had that you thought was you? Well, you just made that disappear. So you're not that thought. In fact, you're not any of your thoughts. You're something else, something completely different. So that's very powerful. And then the fact that you do that repeatedly, that's very powerful as well. So if you feel or you think you're thinking a lot, you're not. No one has a extra busy mind. It's all the same. We're all dealing with the same thing when we're doing meditation. We're all dealing with our minds. So don't add to your thinking by thinking that you're not doing great. You're doing fine. Every time you discover that you're thinking, just bring yourself back to not thinking and you'll be doing a great job. Now, while all that is happening, I'm also letting go of tension in my body, or I'm becoming more conscious of my body. And I have a system for that because it's too vague on the inside when I close my eyes not to have a system. So I'm scanning my body from my head down to my feet and back up again, very slowly, very gently. Anywhere I find tension, I let it go. And I use my out breath to let it go because it's natural to just use my out breath to let it go. But it's also a good way to remember to breathe, because it's quite easy to hold your breath or to stop breathing altogether with all the not thinking and everything else that's going on. It can be quite easy to do that. So using the out breath is a good way of remembering, oh yeah, breathe, let it go. Also, as I'm scanning my body up and down, I'm paying particular attention to any structures in my body that go across my body or transverse. Mostly my body runs head to feet, longitudinally, but anywhere that goes across, it behaves a little bit like a log going across a stream. It picks up the twigs and the branches and the leaves and anything else that's going down the stream, except in my body, it's tension. So I'm paying particular attention to my eyes, my jaw, my tongue, the base of my neck, my shoulder girdle, my joints, because all my joints are transverse. So my shoulders, my elbows, wrists, fingers, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles, and my toes. If you're new to meditation, a nice quiet room is really helpful where you're not going to be disturbed. Reason being, when you close your eyes, your hearing is going to amplify. And one of the things that triggers thoughts is little noises. So the less little noises that you have, little or big noises that you have, the more you'll be helping your mind. And then another way I help my mind is by setting a timer for how long I'm going to meditate for. So I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes, but if you're new, I'd encourage you to set yours for 5 minutes and then repeat that 3 times, because 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. Okay, let me have a quick check for questions. Nope. Good. All right. Off we go then into the mystery. okay if you feel like you've gone very deeply into yourself and you feel like you need a bit of time to come back from there before you open your eyes, then do that. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space at the same time, then just open your eyes. And if when you do that you feel like, oh, I've lost the inner space, as soon as I open my eyes it just disappeared, you can just close your eyes again, reconnect, open your eyes. If you lose it again, close them again. You can use your eyes as a kind of a equalizer to help you be able to hold both. So as I said, this is somebody says, what's the title of your meditation book? I don't have a meditation book. Macarena. I don't have one. So yeah, this is part of the further emergence work that I do. Further emergence is to do with growth, inner growth mainly. You know, your body grows as you're a child and an adolescent, and then it stops pretty much when you're an adult. But then you continue to grow on the inside in consciousness, for want of a better word. And similar to the way when you were growing your body, you could go through periods of accelerated growth, or you know what's known as growth spurts. That can happen on the inside as well. It's characterized by a few different things. It can be just really disorienting. You can just suddenly feel like everything is speeding up, or you can feel like, sometimes it can feel like you're blocked. That's a sign of further emergence as well, because sort of having this feeling of being blocked is part of accelerated growth. I know that sounds contradictory, but it is, because you wouldn't be aware of it if you weren't growing. You wouldn't be aware that you were feeling blocked if you weren't growing. And that can manifest, not the blocked bit, but you can have another sign of further emergence is if you have physical symptoms that, you know, they're not life-threatening, but they just have put your whole life on pause. It's almost like you're trying to get your attention about something, and until it does get your attention, you can't move forward. So there's lots of different expressions of that kind of further emergence, that growth spurt, and there's a lot of it going on at the moment because there's a lot of change going on externally, which is kind of a reflection. So yeah, these daily meditations are part of that, sort of help with that, because knowing your inner landscape is very helpful in the process of further emergence. I also do a weekly Zoom group on Fridays, and that's to help with just a more in-depth kind of being able to think about it and reflect on it a bit more. There's more in-depth meditation. It's also, one of the side benefits of it is it's a nice way to see, oh, I'm not the only person going through this. Because one of the things about further emergence is you can sort of go overnight almost from being able to communicate how it's going for you and people, you know, oh yeah, I understand, to nobody understands. Everyone thinks you're a bit nutty. That's what people say to me. And I've been in it myself like many times. I know that feeling. So it's nice to go to the Zoom group and kind of go, oh, okay, I'm not on my own with this. And then I work one-on-one with people as well. And that's a combination of talking and working kind of in front of the scenes, and then I do sort of distant behind the scenes work with them as well. So yeah, if that whole further emergence thing resonates with you, you can either follow along on your preferred channel. I'm on Instagram, Further Emergence Instagram, Facebook page, and there's YouTube as well. Or you can go to the website and read about it as well. So furtheremergence.com is the website. Oh, hang on, question. What do you think about using music to calm your mind, or is it too much, or is that too much input? Well, as I said at the beginning, there's loads of different types of meditation, and they all have their place. So, you know, if you want to do a mantra, or you want to do a guided meditation, or you want to have music, that's all fine. But ultimately, you're going to end up where I am. Not where I am, like I know how to, you know, I've got the dibs on meditation. But ultimately, you're going to be up against your mind, or dealing with your mind and thinking, and the emptied space when you stop thinking. So, you know, in the past I've done all different types of meditation, and they're fine, they're great, but ultimately, for me, it comes down to this not thinking space, or the space that is not thinking, and getting into this place that I was talking about, of this deep, mysterious place that I go to every night, quite naturally, thankfully. I don't have to think about it. But this meditation for me is about going there consciously as possible. So it's almost like I go into a room that my mind has to sit outside the door of while I go into it. And it doesn't really understand it, even though I'm talking about it. The part of me that's talking about it doesn't really understand it. But yet, through repeatedly going to that mysterious place, things have changed in me. So any external stimulus like music or some guided meditation where somebody is guiding me along, that's engaging my mind in a way. Even using a mantra is going to be engaging my mind. So for me, I don't want to do that. I want to go beyond that. But you know, if you want to do it, that's great. As I say, there's a place for everything. Okay. Thanks very much for meditating with me. See you tomorrow for tomorrow. What even is that, tomorrow? That's a word I just made up. See you tomorrow for some more meditation. All right. Bye.